Hey, and welcome to a McCorkleLiFE Halloween. We're gonna do the Grinch this year. And we're starting to say hi, Gracie and Asher. We ordered material to make the Grinch. This is gonna be the bottom. I ordered a Santa suit for the top, and I'll show you the rest of it in the other part of the video. I'm just gonna show you on this part how to cut out your material and start getting your material ready to be placed for sewing. Where you start is getting your design in place. I tried drawing it out from the specs online and it came out too small. So what I would recommend is, just like other people do, get a piece of material from some jammies or a pair of jeans, depending on what your material is. This is tight and it doesn't give. So a jean material might be good, or use, if you have a stretchy piece, use what you got, but make sure you leave room so that you can sit down. Then, depending on the material at the bottom, you can cut it to tailor or not. And you can either draw it from that, or what I would recommend is to draw it down on a piece of paper. You can also do a check with your piece of paper, either tape it up, put it on and see how it fits, or you can just do it with a spare piece of material if you have like a sheet or anything else around. So what you do is you cut out your initial piece of jammies or jeans, and you'll have a back piece. The sewing goes down the leg on the side, and then you'll notice this material goes at a slope on the side, and you'll sew the two back pieces together and the two front pieces together. So that's what I've done, giving myself just a little bit of extra on the sides for a seam, maybe about a 1/2 inch to an inch, depending on what your material is, and then you get started. All right, so you've cut out your material. You have a first back and a first front. Now, an important note when you're using a template, this back needs to be flipped over to be your second back, okay? That way these seams will line up on the back. The same thing with the front. When you cut your front, you've got one front. When you cut your second front, make sure you flip it over and do the outline for your second front. Otherwise, you'll end up with 4 pieces that don't align, so make sure. Okay, so here's one of the tips for when you're doing your cuts. I've got 2 backs and I've got 1 front cut already. And one of the things to preserve your material is you can flip the angle of the legs. Don't just cut out 4 squares, because you'll waste your material. If you want to keep some extra pieces, I've put them aside, especially for Grinch. You're going to have facial and eyebrows. So you want to keep some of that stuff after you've cut the material, pull it off, lay it aside, keep the pieces for going aside, and then you can cut and save some of your material. All right, so now we're ready to make the hands. I've put on my coat so you can see what it looks like, and where I have the extra scruff right here at the wrist section. What I've done is started with a double glove, and then I've wrapped my arm in cellophane just to make sure that none of the fabric glue, the fabric tack that I'm using, gets on my skin. Avoid prolonged exposure to your skin. Once you get the material stuck to your glove, you want to make sure that you let it sit for just an amount of time to where it tacks to it, and then you can either pull your hand out and let it sit and finish, and then you can start the trimming, or you can finish gluing all of your hand. I just started with just the fingertips, and then around this corner where it curves around my hand. I cut out the first template and then made the second one so both hands are the same size. I ended up with just a little bit too much material at the top, so just go about 1 inch over your fingers with the material cut out, and then the rest of it is just fur that you can use some hair gel, and you make it tippy like that, and just long and gelled like the Grinchy look. Then you'll shave the back of the hand. Just try to make it not too much of a butchered poodle, and at about the first knuckle and on is where you'll leave the fur. You can kind of do it however you want, but that's how I approached it so that it looks more accurate. All right, so we have cut out our pattern. We've actually sewn together the front through the middle and then the back through the middle. And then we've started on one leg. We started on the inside of the leg, and then we go to the outside. You can see actually on the outside we had the initial sew, and then we did just a single sew down the, I don't know what the technical terms are.
We don't know anything about sewing.
Totally amateur sewers.
Obviously.
But on these middle portions, we did the cross stitch. So this gives it a nice strong cross stitch.
I don't know if that's what it's called.
It's the zigzag alligator teeth.
Right.
And then make sure that you go up and close it back and then finish it at the end so that it's locked in. So then you can go back and tighten and tailor to your leg on the outside.
Which we should have done with the pattern, but we didn't
But
know
the
what
patterns
this
are
fabric
difficult.
was gonna be like.
Don't touch the camera, Asher. Our cameraman in the back. So now we're sewing the other leg inside. We'll do the same thing on the outside. I know there may be another process you're supposed to sew instead of doing outside inside leg, but this is what's working for us. So here we go. Now it's time to trim the Wookiee, because this is way too much fur for Grinch.
Hi everybody. We're here doing our DIY Halloween costumes. This year, Robbie is the Grinch. I am Martha May Houvier. Gracie's Cindy Lou. Ethan's Lou Who. And
Max the dog.
Asher's Max. So we're gonna be talking about Martha May. So Martha May, in one scene, wears a very schmancy Santa baby kind of dress while she's putting up her Christmas lights. So instead of making a dress from scratch, we bought this cheaper version here, either on Amazon or, I mean, you can get it at Walmart, Target. I seriously think that these are everywhere, at least they were when I was searching online. I got mine on Poshmark because I got it cheaper. But the only thing is that this has a hood. Martha May does not. So yes, we'll wear a little crinoline underneath. So I'm taking the hood off because what we purchased was this fancier fake fur fabric that we're going to put over this. So we'll have about 5 inches instead of just this little tiny bit here at the bottom. So there, the collar, and the sleeves.
We'll upload our designs that we have for both the Grinch and Martha May Houvier. And thank you to Baby Maddie Prop Shop for providing these furs. I mean, we purchased them, but props to y'all.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just going to be taking off this hood. I'm gonna reuse this fabric for Gracie's Cindy Lou. Got her a nice little red cape on Poshmark as well. And then we'll go from there.
And then also on the hood side of the Grinch, I'll provide this layout, and I'm using the largest, you'll just have to size it per your head, from a Lemon Squeezy Home Fur Hood hood lining pattern, which makes it easy for you to be able to cut out.
Lemon Squeezy Home.
Perfect.
Cute. All right, everybody. Catch you on the flip side.
Baby, picture you and me hanging around a Christmas tree, colored lights and an angel up above, Christmas of love. Baby, everywhere we go, bring a little mistletoe. We'll be hugging, we'll be kissing like 2 turtle doves, Christmas of love. Telling everyone Santa gonna come, have a lot of fun at Christmas time. Now it's on the way, everybody say, have a Merry Christmas of love. Baby, let it snow tonight.